Hello, hello. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. I'll let a few people get in here. Let us get live in all these different places. Let's see, we are getting there. I'm going to check on YouTube and Facebook. All right, Ray, what's up? I see your question. Thank you, sir. Roel, what's going on, my man? Debbie over in Queensland. Hello, I got you. D-Lynn, hello, hello. Cherry, what's up? Welcome in, everybody, to the Performance Medicine Show, our live Q&A. We do this every single Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Hope everyone is doing well tonight. I am adjusting some things. Dr. Rogers will be on the show here shortly. That was my lacrosse ball. Grandma Mary, what's going on? Thank you. I think you have a little trip planned this upcoming week. Excited for you. Bianca, what's going on? Great to see you. We're going to let a few people come in here. We're over on Instagram as well. Hello, everybody on Instagram. Thank you guys for hanging out. We're taking questions over here as well. We'll be doing live Q&A tonight. We'll go for the next hour or so. We're going to let a few more people come in. Wait till we get to 20, 25, something like that. My brother Steve is in the building. What's going on, my man? Hope you and Sheridan are doing wonderful tonight. Wonderful evening. Doc is getting ready to get in here. Stan, what's up? Great to see everybody. Thank you all for being with us tonight, as always. If you're new, let me know. If we got any first-time listeners, let me know where you're from. Cool, D-Lynn. Let us know what you think. I'm so happy for you. We are going to be giving out another 30-count bottle of Digest-Shield tonight. I will kind of discuss the terms as we go along this evening. So stay tuned for that. Free bottle of 30-count Digest-Shield is coming up. And, oh, there we go. We got Rose in here as a first-timer from Virginia. Wayne in Virginia. Time Traveler Karen's in Connecticut. All right. I've got connections up to Connecticut. Ivy, what's up, man? Great to see you in Kingsport. All right. Thank you, Rose, for being with us. Thank you, Wayne and New Wise. Thank you guys for hanging out tonight. As you guys know, we put up a couple different videos on our YouTube channel this morning. First one was on a popular topic of this show. We've talked a little bit about soy. This one, Dr. Rogers talks about the dangers of soy. There's been a couple of articles come out talking about soy fields replacing tobacco fields. And is that a good idea? It's kind of interesting. Are we trading kind of one bad thing for another? Watch that episode. It's super cool. It's about 12 minutes long, so super quick and easy. So anyone who's had concerns around soy, and I know I think maybe Edna was asking about protein. If you are a vegetarian or a vegan, you don't want to do soy, what are the options? We'll talk about that tonight as well. This one was fun. I love this. I was there for this filming. That's Mike Vickers with Dr. Rogers there from BioStacks Wellness Center in Kingsport, brand new. I believe it is open. We got a tour of it. It is fantastic. I mean, literally, the thumbnail kind of says it all. It is the future of wellness. I have no doubt about that. Watch that video because my mom was on the camera there and kind of followed us around. There, man. Cold, hot scenarios. We had red light therapy, the superhuman protocol. I mean, you name it, and BioStacks has it. And goodness, guys, it's in Kingsport. It's unreal, unreal. Super pumped for Mike and everyone over at BioStacks. They were so kind to us. Yes, Roel, it is amazing. Foxy Moxie in New York State. All right, cool. I was just in New York. Thank you for being with us tonight. All right, we're going to get to the questions here. I believe Doc is ready. Let's see where we're at. All right. What's up, man?
Hey, Ben, how are you?
You look sharp tonight. Is that your Wimbledon green?
Yeah, this is my Wimbledon shirt. Yeah,
Okay, so we're heading into the grass season
we are.
for
We
tennis,
are.
and
I've been out on the grass tonight playing a little tennis.
No, you
grass
weren't.
court tennis tonight. I wish I was. I've actually only played on a grass court one time. That was
Yep.
you in Palm Springs.
Yeah, I remember, and I think you have a good grass court game. You know, kind
The
of
ball
flat.
skids. It doesn't come up. The ball doesn't come up.
Ball
Yeah.
doesn't come up.
Yeah.
Now, I will
Did you
say
ever play a tournament on grass?
I did not. I did not. I've never played a tournament on grass, but I've hit on it a few times, and it's different. It's actually way tougher on your body than you'd realize because you're bending over so much. The ball stays so low. There's actually a little bit of a. I'm watching my sound here, making sure I'm in range here. We record this for the podcast. Welcome into the Performance Medicine Show. But it's tougher on your body than the clay, I believe. I've heard people
I
say
admire
that.
those guys. They're going from red clay to grass in 1 week. That's hard to do.
It's so hard. But I'll definitely be watching the grass court season. We'll get Wimbledon here in a couple weeks, which I'm pumped about. Was the day in the office good?
Yeah, we had a great day. Wonderful day.
Are you? I think actually I need to remind everybody because I did a terrible job of this last week. It's Father's Day week. Happy early Father's Day, Dad.
Thank you.
And I'm pumped. I'm pumped to get to see. I'm going to be in Kingsport tomorrow or Johnson City tomorrow, and also be in over the weekend.
Oh, wonderful.
But to all the fathers out there, happy Father's Day, happy early Father's Day. We run specials all week long. The main people who take advantage of this sale are the people who are already on some sort of hormone therapy, and they're able to get a little bit of a discount this week. So if that sounds like you, make sure you call the office this week. It's this week and this week only. Father's Day Sunday, we end the sale on Friday, so call the office closest to you. And yeah, I need to make sure I get that in. You ready to start this show?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Let's rock on. All right, guys, if you have a question for Dr. Rogers, go ahead and put it in the comments. I see Foxy Moxie already got one in there. Ray, thank you. And we had a few come in over the course of the week, and we certainly do appreciate everyone who sends in their questions and gets our show off and running. This is one, I had to read this twice because we've talked about it some, and I couldn't for the life of me remember what it's for. Could you please share your thoughts on xylitol? I've seen some articles in the news this week about it causing cardiovascular problems, and sounds like it's used in many products. Is the harm it causes permanent, or will avoiding it in the future undo any damage? Remind me, what is xylitol?
That's a great question. It's an artificial sweetener. And that's a great question because, it was in the news this week. Sure was, about how you can increase your risk of cardiovascular disease if you take this. Now, it's always going to be a dose response curve. The more you use, the more dangerous it may be. That's the first time we've heard this. I don't really like xylitol a whole lot. The dentists love it because it prevents cavities. Excuse me. There is one good thing about it, because it's very good for prevention of cavities. So they put it in gum. They put it in a lot of things as an artificial sweetener. And certainly we've always thought, well, this is better than taking Splenda, aspartame, and all those terrible things for you. But this report comes out. I haven't really liked it because if you take too much of it, it gives you diarrhea. So it's pretty bad on your gut. And now we see this, so I'm certainly going to try to avoid it. Now, again, I think most things are reversible. It may take a while to detox from it, but certainly this was a bad report on xylitol. And again, medicine changes and we find out new things about different products. Even, supplements and over-the-counter stuff. Like there was a recent controversy about omega-3s,
Yep.
and sometimes in people that it's interesting because the report showed that there may be a link to heart disease with excess use of omega-3s, fish oil, which we've always been big on. But it was a bad study for one thing. If you look at Dr. Atia's analysis of the omega-3s, it's totally different. But they found that your chances of AFib were higher with omega-3s. And it's interesting too, because they thought that the people that already had heart disease probably benefited from taking omega-3s. But the people that didn't have cardiovascular disease, it may put them at a little bit of an increased risk for AFib, and maybe some other things like cardiovascular disease. So again, it's one of those things you keep your eye tuned on, but certainly if you do things in moderation, it's probably okay. But xylitol, I'm certainly going to start looking at things for xylitol. I've never liked it as an artificial sweetener. Again, I prefer monk fruit, stevia, things like that. I like honey. I like raw, natural, pure, unfiltered honey. That's the sweetener I always go to. So yeah, until something else comes up, I'll avoid xylitol.
Yeah, you know what? I'm so grateful for this question, and I want to, there's 28 people here now. Like, that's definitely the best way to use this show is if there's something that comes out that concerns you, bring that to the show on Tuesday, and because like Doc says, medicine changes, and more things come out, and new research studies come out, and we'll do our best on our end to interpret the studies and the research, and we'll certainly tell you what we're doing. So Doc, thank you for that answer. Great question.
Yes, so don't freak out on it, but it's interesting with a lot of medicines and supplements. If you overdo it, your body tells you this is not good for you. And certainly if you overdo xylitol, you're going to get stomach problems. So again, listen to your body. If you feel great, you're using a little bit of it, don't freak out over it. Just keep, send a red flag up that maybe you want to use something a little bit different.
Yeah, super interesting. Thank you for that question. We're going to keep moving. This is a personal question, Doc. Does the doc have an update on using Botox on his back? My wife has had what seems like a perpetual muscle spasm in her middle back for 16 years. No doctor.
Brent, you froze up a little bit. So repeat that question because you were frozen. I couldn't hear you.
I'm not freezing. Okay. Let me keep going here. Sorry, guys. Is our feed okay? Let me know in the comments if we're looking okay. Does the doc have an update on using Botox on his back? My wife has had what seems like a perpetual muscle spasm in her middle back for 16 years. No doctor has yet been able to find a reason for this, and it causes her constant pain. I'm wondering if Botox might be an option.
Yeah, I think it probably would be. Botox has many uses and even off-label uses. Certainly, what it does is prevent. It's a muscle blocker, so it blocks that neuromuscular impulse. That's how it works for faces. You put it in your forehead, it kind of paralyzes muscles temporarily. That's how it was first discovered to be useful for tics around an eye. And so it worked for that. And in the meantime, they found out, well, hey, the wrinkles are gone on that side of the face. So it became Botox. Imagine the doctor, I think it was an ophthalmologist that discovered that. But anyway, the update was a little over a week ago, I put 50 units of Botox in my back. I actually had Ernie put it in there. I have a really tight one side of my back that just pulls my spine over because I have scoliosis in my lumbar spine. And, it's kind of been a chronic thing for the last several years. Knock on wood, it's really the only thing that bothers me about my health is that back pain. And I'm happy to tell you it's working. I even had Ernie poke on it yesterday to see. Ernie's our physical therapist who's my age, so he's been doing this 40 years. That's a picture of my back.
There we
You
go.
can see how that back doesn't really look good. Those vertebrae are supposed to be stacked one on top of each other. So mine's really pulled over. And, it's interesting. I never had that problem before a few years ago, but I also have a little bit of degenerative disc disease because I'm almost 70 years old. And I've done a lot of things. I really wish I'd never done a squat in my life with heavy weight. I think that's a big mistake for people that are loading up that lumbar spine with really heavy weights. It's just not good for your back. But yeah, I mean, that I've been poking back there, and Ernie checked it today. And it certainly is soft now, where it was like a golf ball. It was knotty, and spasm is some of the worst pain you'll have. I mean, it's really a bad pain. A muscle spasm is a bad pain. Think about when you get a muscle spasm in your calf at night, how bad that is. Or Ben, you've been in total body cramps from playing tennis in Australia. You know how when you get dehydrated and your sodium gets low, you can cramp all over. But yeah, so I'm happy to report that this has helped me somewhat. It's not going to reverse that curve in my lumbar spine, but I'm hoping that through the relaxation of the muscle on that side, it won't pull so much. I'm also doing your recommendation, my functional patterns exercises, where it's really going to be interesting to see if I can really kind of start to straighten out my back. And we'll do a podcast on functional patterns.
Yeah.
It's kind of you turn me on through some of your professional tennis player buddies. And it's a unique way of working out. So I'm really hoping that I can report to you in a couple months and take another picture, and my back is not so pulled over. Certainly, it's definitely off label, but yeah, I think it might be worth a try. To see if it would help relax that muscle. They use Botox to relax bladder muscles. They use it for all kinds of things that you couldn't believe. Of course, they use it for migraine headaches. They use it for wry neck, where you have spasm in your neck. So, it's a wonderful product, very safe, probably the most studied prescription medicine ever done. So I feel pretty safe with it, even though you see an occasional report about botulism. But so, yeah, have her try it if nothing else is working, because you hate to take muscle relaxers too much because they make you tired. They don't make you feel good. But yeah, I hope that helps.
It's a great question, and thank you guys for letting me know about our feed here. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Foxy Moxie. I'm gonna put this up from Time Traveler. Karen likes allulose for sweetener for baking.
That's the best. That's probably the best one. I don't know why I didn't mention that one, but I certainly have it at my house. And with two type 1 diabetic kids, you always are looking for something besides sugar. But yeah, look at Dr. Atia's research on that. It certainly won't elevate your blood sugar. So, by the way, I'm getting ready to put another continuous glucose monitor on. I'm going to try the new Dexcom 6 instead of the Freestyle Libre to see how that works. That's going over the counter this summer.
So
I think it's going to be August. I'll do another podcast on using a CGM to see what your blood sugars are doing.
Will that still be on your tricep? Are you going to put it there?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just right back of your arm. Yeah.
I'm so excited about that becoming OTC.
Let me mention something else to you right now that's really interesting, since we're talking about that, because have you ever heard of twin studies? Like they study identical twins, and they give them different things and see, because they have basically the same DNA, and see how it does on them. I'm doing my own one twin study right now with Carter and Katie, and they both have just recently put on continuous glucose monitors.
Okay.
And just to see, that 2-week deal. And so what I'm doing right now is I'm checking, because Katie got on it and she started having hypoglycemia. She's on berberine. She wouldn't mind me telling you this.
Okay.
I love berberine, especially the dihydroberberine. So she's on berberine, which really works. In her case, she's not insulin resistant at all, and really it's a carnivore type diet. So she drops low. I mean, her sugars didn't go over. I mean, they're way below 100 always, and into the 40s.
Okay.
So I said, let's leave Carter on the berberine, because same thing was happening with her.
Okay.
They're basically on kind of similar diets. It's not a perfect study, but so I told Katie, stop the berberine and leave Carter on the berberine. Let's see what happens to your sugars. So far, Katie's sugars are responding normally. She's not having hypoglycemia, and she's had even their Katie is 4-day average is 89, which is good.
That's awesome.
When she got off the berberine, she didn't have those hypoglycemic attacks, and therefore she does not need berberine. Most people that are struggling with weight that eat a regular diet need berberine. So it's really, berberine works, especially that dihydroberberine. That's just proof to me. I've always known it did. I think it works as good as metformin, and it's certainly over the counter, less side effects, and it just works good. So I'm finishing out the twin study. I may do a little podcast or something about it, but
I think we absolutely have to.
Your own little twin study.
That's so cool. And so tell me again. So if she's hypoglycemic on the berberine and doesn't need the berberine, so you're saying the berberine's working too well?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
she's lean anyway. Eats a carnivore diet. She doesn't eat a lot of carbs, really.
Okay.
So she doesn't need it. Actually, may feel better off of it. Does, but your average person is insulin resistant and gets all kinds of spikes. So a great thing is when those CGMs come out over the counter this summer, I'm gonna tell everybody to get one.
Yeah.
I mean, just to see what your body does with when you eat or drink. If you start spiking, remember, it's not your A1C that's the problem. It's the spikes that do the damage, time outside the normal curve. So I'm kind of pumped about it.
That's super cool. That's super cool. Well, guys, Katie Carter, keep us posted with where you guys are at with the twin study there. I think that is fascinating. And of course, we'll keep everyone in here posted on how they're doing. On the berberine study, we've been talking a ton about dihydroberberine. I think we already have a question around it. But we're going to get to one more question, and then we're going to get to the live comments. So if you guys have a question for Dr. Rogers, go ahead and put it in the show. In the comment section. We will get to that in just a minute. Yoga Mama Shelly on Instagram, I see you. Esty Bestie, I see you. I see our esthetician Jasmine loves berberine. I love it. Denise, I love you. Thank you for being with us tonight. We're going to get to this happy, healthy hair question and then get to the live questions. How long has it been taking some to see the benefit? Okay. How long has it been taking some to see the benefit of happy, healthy hair? I know the new growth may take a while the growth cycles, but maybe improvement in amount of shedding. What are you seeing in office with this?
It really varies a lot because when you start it, you don't know what phase of hair growth you're in or shedding you're in. So I'd say I'd give it a good 3 months for sure. But yeah, most people really like it. I put somebody on it today. Some other things I do as well for thinning hair, especially in women. Women hate their hair getting thin. I saw a lady today and I put her on a couple of different things. And I also put her on happy, healthy hair. But, most everybody I put on it really likes it. Look at what Andy loves it. Andy really did not want to lose hair. So he swears by it. So give it a while, give it a little bit.
Is there anything that this listener can look at as far as like, okay, I know I'm improving, or is it just going to be like all of a sudden in 3 months, I'm going to start seeing those results?
It'll be gradual. It'll be definitely gradual. Just look at how much hair is in the sink or coming off in your brush or comb. And, even take pictures if you want. But if it's not working, again, there's other ways to to tackle this. Usually when I see a woman who's getting really thin hair, I hit it from different angles. I hit it from a lot of different ways.
All right, great question around the healthy, happy hair. We're going to get to the live questions here and answer all your questions tonight. We're going to be here for another 35 minutes or so. So if you have a question for Dr. Rogers, go ahead and put it in the comments. I'm going to remind everybody we are giving away a 30-count bottle of Digest Shield, Dr. Rogers' go-to gut vitamin tonight. So over the course of the night, I'm just going to ask if people have not tried it yet, or if there's anybody who has not tried Digest Shield, let us know in the comments. We're going to try to get some people who haven't been able to try it. All right, let's go to some questions here. Let's see. Ray has been with us all night tonight. Thank you, Ray. In the first 50 plus years of my life, my blood sugar numbers were nearly perfect, but now in my 60s, I'm a type 2 diabetic. I was wondering what changes in the human body that brings on diabetes. Okay, interesting. What's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, that's a great question. I see that a lot. I don't know if you've gained a little weight. Most people after age 50, when they go into menopause or andropause, their metabolism slows down. And when your metabolism slows down, you become more insulin resistant. The other thing too that I see, I hope you're looking at your testosterone level, because that really is a major player when you're a man over 50 years old. When it starts dropping, you start getting belly fat and you become more insulin resistant. So it may be low testosterone. It may be too much estrogen. What I've found out is that you really have to eat better than you did when you were 30 or even 40, because your metabolism takes a major hit when you go into that andropause. The other factors too that you have to consider are what's happening with your thyroid. Is it kind of getting fatigued? Mine did. I take a little thyroid supplement myself, a little MT thyroid. And then you got to look at your cortisol, because remember, insulin, cortisol, and thyroid all talk to each other minute by minute. And if one of them's off, say you're stressed, you're not sleeping, you're gonna get fat and you're gonna develop type 2 diabetes. So those are some things that can, look at your cortisol, look at your thyroid, look at your insulin resistance numbers. Go get a Cleveland Heart panel; it'll really tell you all that stuff, including your testosterone. But yeah, I see that a lot. I saw a really interesting case today that really, really interesting case. And I won't talk about it too much, but this patient drove a long way to see me, 5 hours, and became a type 1 diabetic 3 years ago, about 4 hours after she took the first jab, and was in a DKA, diabetic ketoacidosis, in a coma. And with all, in other words, type 1 diabetes, shortly, a few hours after the jab, in a coma, and developed the myocarditis and all the complications and all that. But that we call that a type 1.5. But she's now on insulin pump and all this, so it's really, and we're going to be able to help her tremendously. She's going to do great. But anyway, that just reminded me of somebody developing diabetes, after their 50s. Of course, that we know what the cause of that was. We don't know what the cause of yours is yet, but we can certainly sort it out when you start looking at all your metabolic factors. I don't know if you're having gut problems either. I mean, that can certainly change things as well. I'm assuming when you're wondering what changes brought it on, you're on the same exercise and diet pattern. I'm wondering if you gained a little weight around the midsection, but you're the type of person that we love to see and actually help, because here's the thing about type 2 diabetes: you can cure it. You can't cure type 1, at least not yet. You have to have insulin. But type 2 is totally curable. Sometimes it takes very low carb diet. Sometimes it takes berberine. Sometimes it takes semaglutide. I mean, tirzepatide, but there's ways we can do it. And usually, unless it's too severe, usually we can do it without medications. But yeah, you're the exact person we love to see. We like to check all your hormones out. And, the human body changes after menopause and andropause. It's called hormones. And that's a factor doctors just don't look at. They totally ignore it. They don't know about it. Number one, it's just crazy how little doctors know about hormones. So that's kind of what we do. So let's look into it if we can help you out in any way.
Ray, I hope that helps a little bit. Wonderful question, because I know that that you're not the only one. So thank you for bringing that question in tonight. I hope that helps more than one person here with us live. Doc, I'm seeing quite a few people who have not tried Digest Shield yet. Some of them have it on their to try list, like Karen. Can you give us a rundown of just real quickly what Digest Shield is? I see Loretta here is asking if it's a probiotic. Give the people who haven't tried it yet kind of what
Yeah, Digest Shield is a combination digestive aid. I love it because it's got everything in it that you need for your gut. It has prebiotics. Remember, when you take a probiotic, you need a prebiotic. Think of a prebiotic as food for the probiotic. The probiotic, of course, is 11 different types of beneficial bacteria that your gut needs to kind of overwhelm the bad bacteria in your gut. It's the right balance. It's the one I found works the best. You don't have to have 100 billion CFUs of one probiotic to work. I like this mixture a lot of what they've come up with. Then it has digestive enzymes to help you break down your foods. A lot of people just can't digest, especially the fat that they eat. And again, I'm big on eating good fats, less carbs for most people, not all, but most. Then it has lactase, which blocks down dairy, which is a great offender to your gut. Then it has chitosan, which blocks down a couple things, glutens. For one, everybody's getting on a gluten-free diet because it's inflammatory. Also lectins, that plant protein that you see in beans and a lot of plants that try to upset your stomach so that you won't eat them. But basically, those plants don't want animals to eat them. Those glutens and lectins are there to protect them against animals wanting to eat them because they get sick when they eat them. So we're eating them. They're putting in our foods to make it stick together, and it's messing our guts up. There's so many factors with your gut, and your immune system comes directly from your gut. At least 80% of it does. So, I think every human starting from birth needs probiotics. And for adults, this is just the one that seems to work the best. If you've ever been told you have IBS or you have GERD or you have a lot of bloating, gas, irregular bowel movements, you can't tolerate certain foods, then you should try Digest Shield. It's really good. We all take it, of course. I'll always be with my Digest Shield. There's two things I take on vacation. I'm going to a medical conference soon. One's going to be my Super Multi. The other's going to be my Digest Shield. I don't like to haul a whole bunch of vitamins with me. But anyway, I hope that helps. It's a phenomenal. 99% of the people I put on it come back and thank me for it. I rarely have anybody. I've had a couple that didn't help their gut much, but it is a wonder supplement for your gut.
Loretta, thank you for that. I hope that helps some of you guys, and thank you for all the comments here. Let us know if you have not tried Digest Shield yet. I see Foxy Moxie's asking, the name is Digest Shield. You can find it on shieldnutra.com if you're interested in the different, what's all in it. So thank you, Foxy Moxie, for that. I'm going to get to Debbie over in Queensland. Debbie's hopefully having some coffee this morning. It's Wednesday morning her time. I've managed to source berberine here in Australia and wondering what dose you recommend to start on and any specific time of day to take it. I'm a type 1 diabetic and find insulin resistance in the morning. How would you kind of coach Debbie up here?
Yeah, that's good. I would take it 30 minutes before you eat breakfast. And if you have any kind of weight problems, then I'd take another one 30 minutes before you eat dinner. Space it out. I like the dihydroberberine. You don't have to use that. 200 milligrams is what we use. I think that's adequate. Remember, just try to get the dihydroberberine and not the berberine hydrochloride. It's just you can use way less of it. And it's a way more potent. And I've found it to work tremendously. Look at now. Here's another thing too. I will tell you, since you're a type 1, when you start taking that, back down on your insulin just a little bit, because your sugars may give you better control of your sugars. Therefore, you may not have to take as much insulin. I told one of my type 1s today that who'd gained quite a bit of weight on insulin, because remember, insulin is a fat storing hunger hormone. So, and again, type 1s usually start out, we used to call it juvenile diabetes. Now you can get it, we just call it type 1 because you can get it anytime. However, usually as a juvenile, it's my phone and I'm not going to answer. But they want to play pickleball. I can't. But anyway, so the type 1s usually start out being really lean and thin. Again, it's usually kids. But as they get older and they've been on insulin for years, they can actually develop type 2 diabetes on top of it. So you have to really monitor your weight. And you don't want to use any more insulin than you have to. I mean, I've had people, type 1s, that by the time they got to adulthood, they were on 300 units of insulin a day. They were overweight, and now they're having to, they're really insulin resistant to the insulin they get through their pump, and they have to add other medicines. So what I'm saying to you is, if you're type 1 and you add berberine, start out once a day and see how it does. Monitor your sugars closely. You may back down off your insulin just a little bit, maybe like 20%, and manage it. If you're a type 1, you know how to. Hopefully you can recognize hypoglycemia and you have a CGM around. But yeah, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I put a lot of type 1s. I did today on semaglutide.
Interesting.
Yeah, I do. It's
Debbie,
off-label,
thank you so
but I do
much.
it all the time.
Debbie, thank you for being with us. Morning your time, evening our time. I'm going to put this up from Tom. Tom, thanks so much for being with us tonight. Tom is a first-timer up in Bluefield. I love it.
Beautiful
Thank
place.
you so much.
Bluefield's a beautiful place.
We love that part of the country. All right, we're going to keep moving here. Let's go to Foxy Moxie. Foxy, thank you so much for being active tonight with us. I'm having bladder biopsy. It's a tumor in the C word. I took fenbendazole soon as I found out 7 weeks ago, stopped 14 days ago for surgery. Can I do fenbendazole and ivermectin after I see the results? And Doc, let me know if I need to give you more context here from Foxy Moxie.
Yeah, I hope you should do well with that. You should do well. There's great treatments for that. And yeah, I would. I don't think you really need to take both of them. I'd get on the Fenben for sure. It's not going to hurt you. It's probably going to help you. But yeah, and do all those other things that we would tell you to do anyway. Like don't eat sugar, that type of thing. I had an interesting patient today that has cancer, and we started talking about antioxidants. Should they stop their antioxidants? And those good vitamins that are antioxidants. And my answer was, you probably should avoid overdoing antioxidants right now, because remember, cancer hates oxygen. And when you take an antioxidant, it's antioxygen, and oxygen kills cancer. So, and cancer loves sugar, hates oxygen. So, but yeah, I would get on the Fenben, and but you should do really well with that. Again, get the traditional treatment, of course, like you are. Don't ever ignore that. I tell everybody, don't ignore the traditional treatment. Just add the other adjunctive treatments that you can do as well.
Foxy Moxie, this is her third time here, so thank you so much for for hanging out with us, and I hope you come back and keep us posted with how things are going, please. We'll certainly be thinking about you. I'm going to put this up from Wayne and taking new patients. Yes,
Yeah. Sure.
we are. And Wayne, if you want to email me, I want to make this as like, super valuable to the people who are with us live as possible. So shoot me a text, not text, an email, ben@performancemedicine.net, and I'll make sure you get to the right person, and we can take care of you. Thank you, Wayne, for being with us tonight. Barbara has a very common question that I love. What is PQQ? And I'll just go ahead and say, I believe PQQ is for energy, but I'm going to let you say it.
Yeah, it's and I'm not going to attempt to name the word that's about this long, the term for it, pyroquinolone something, but basically what it is, everybody knows that CoQ10 is an energy vitamin. What CoQ10 does is help your mitochondria, which is the part of the cell that generates all energy. It helps your mitochondria put out more ATP, adenosine triphosphate, which is the ultimate source of energy. It's in that, if you go back to biochemistry, it's kind of complex, but you go through that citric acid cycle, Krebs cycle, you come out with energy. So CoQ10 is a definite cofactor in the production of ATP. So it makes your mitochondria pump out more ATP. What PQQ does is helps your body generate more mitochondria. So you're getting it from both sides. So in the combination, they work really well. So I think anybody on CoQ10 ought to consider taking PQQ. The reason I'm glad you asked that, because I do have a great formula. I've gotten into really making my own formulas for vitamins out of a place in Portland, Oregon, Freedom to Formulate. They'll make whatever I want. There's some of the ones I have out, but there's no fillers in there either. So, and they have a 2-year shelf life. They're pure, and they don't come from India or China. They're domestically sourced, and also we source some of it from Europe. But in any event, so I added taurine to that too, and taurine is kind of the new longevity energy vitamin. It's the only good thing at all. It's in a Red Bull. So you've got the PQQ, CoQ10, and taurine in one pill, probably for less than most CoQ10s are sold for.
Yeah,
you got to be careful.
I believe that.
You got to be careful with CoQ10. You can get some, bogus forms of it. But so that's what it does, Barbara. It makes your cells produce more mitochondria.
Barbara, thank you for that. Thank you for teeing us up with the PQQ. Carter, thank you for helping Wayne out. We'll get you in, Wayne. We appreciate you being here, man. Okay, let's get to where are we at? Okay, this is Carolyn. Thank you, Carolyn. My husband and I came home last summer, came on Alaskan cruise with COVID. We are traveling again late summer and are already seeing reports of COVID. Is there anything we could do to boost our immune system up? Great question, Carolyn.
Yeah.
Lots you can do. What's your thoughts?
A whole lot. Number one, get on some ivermectin before you go, and take it while you're there. Whenever you're on an airplane, or especially on a cruise line, you can be exposed to a lot of things, a lot of germs. So I really like to give my patients a little medical pack. I gave one today that's getting ready to go down the Caribbean somewhere. Forget where they're going, but it's down there near the equator. But anyway, so I supplied them with a medical kit. I wrote some Z-Packs to take with them, and some Zofran, and told them to get some ivermectin. So yeah, get some ivermectin.
Can you tell kind of the prophylactic, kind of the way you dose that?
Yeah, like, gosh, if I was going on a trip, I'll just go ahead and get on it 15 milligrams a day.
Okay.
The day before you leave, throughout your trip, and maybe a day or two after you get back. And certainly if you got COVID, then you'd bump it up to 30. That's an average dose for somebody who had COVID. And take your Z-Packs with you. Take your baby aspirin with you. And I have an immune formula too that I would probably use. It has quercetin and NAC in it. I'd get on my immune vitamin too. If you can flip that up, you can see what's in it. But it ramps up your zinc a little bit, your D and C. If
You guys see that?
you can read what's in my immune complex. Again, I don't take this daily. I just take it if I get sick or I'm traveling. I want to boost my immune system. So if you see that, and again, take that on top of your multi as well. I like to boost the dose of C and D when I do something like that. But so hopefully, you can get your medical kit. Always travel with a medical kit.
Yeah, we've talked a ton about that. I actually love those types of conversations around like what should be in the medical kit when I travel or at home.
And Ben never does it. He never does it.
I do too.
He doesn't even have any Zofran at home.
Zofran, I have Zofran.
You finally got it?
Yeah, I got it. And recently Nurtec. Thank you team in West Knox. I see April's in here. April, what's up? Great to see you tonight. Speaking of Instagram, I'm gonna go over to Instagram and get to Yoga Mama Shelly. Yoga Mama Shelly has a wonderful question. What can you do for skin after using semaglutide? I lost 15 pounds, but my skin is really wrinkled. Such a bummer. Yoga Mama Shelly, you're not alone in this. What's your thoughts here on that? I know you've seen this before.
That's a great question. You can also lose a little bit of muscle too. When you 70% of it's going to be fat loss, but 30% muscle loss. That's why I like to do the InBody test, ideally before and after, to see how much muscle you've lost. But certainly your skin can get a little lax, especially if you're past 40 or 50. But number one, get on collagen. That's something you should be on every day anyway. Definitely take some collagen. I love the keto collagen that we have, and I like those collagen gummies pretty good too. But the other thing is make sure you're consuming enough protein. Most adults don't come near where they need in protein sustenance every day. You need at least a gram per pound that you weigh, I think, especially if you're working out, or at least your ideal body weight. But if you're working out like crazy, you may need more than that. And that's not easy to do. It's a lot of protein.
Yeah.
I love Perfect Aminos. That's a great way to get the 8 essential amino acids and 30 grams of protein right there in one little scoop. So I really like that. Make sure your skin's hydrated. Make sure your kidneys are functioning good and you got good liver function, and that you're not exposing yourself to a lot of other toxins too much, like cigarette smoke, alcohol, all that stuff. I love an infrared sauna for that. Hopefully, because you can sweat and those things, and that's a good way to detox sweat. But and again, use some resistance exercises.
Yeah.
If you're getting loose skin, you're probably losing a little muscle under there. So you need to start working out if you're not.
Yoga Mama Shelly, I hope that helps. Keep us posted. There's lots of different strategies, and I know there's plenty of people in the comments who have been through similar things and gotten through that. So thank you for putting that question.
And since it's Yoga Mama, I'm going to mention I love yoga.
Yeah,
but it does not build muscle too well.
Yeah,
I love yoga, but it does not build that much muscle. You need some resistance. You need a little bit of weight on there. I've measured it in people.
It's a little bit of both. You need the many benefits of yoga, and then adding some resistance training is incredible. So thank you for that question, Yoga Mom. I'm going to put this up from Luana here on Facebook. Thank you, Luana, for being with us tonight. Is there something my friend can take to build immunity that doesn't include vitamin C? Great question.
Great question. There are people that they don't like vitamin C. It either irritates their bladder, or there's some people that just can't take vitamin C. But yeah, I mean, the quercetin and the NAC are my favorite, and of course D. So you may have to get them separately, which you sure can, but you can certainly get quercetin, you can get NAC, and again, take care of your gut as well. Get on Digest Shield if you have any gut problems. But But yeah, and I like the B complex for energy too. And I think they do contribute to your immune system too.
And I'm gonna, Andy was on the show last week, and I've been spending a lot of time with him recently, and he's big on methylene blue for immunity.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's another one you might want to think about for your friend, Luana. Thank you for that question. Let's keep moving here. We're going to get to as many as we can. Let's get to Stan. At night, my feet get cold. Oh, there we go. There we go. Ike and Izzy love the blue.
Don't let your dog get into the methylene blue.
Yeah. At night, my feet get cold. Is this from poor circulation? Is there something that can help? Maybe some natural remedies?
It could be poor circulation. It's interesting. Assuming you're not a smoker, but yeah, again, most people, I think over the age of 40 ought to be taking an 81 milligram aspirin every day for your circulation. It'd be nice to see what kind of circulation. You can get an easy test called an ankle brachial index that all these Lifeline people do all the time. But it's basically measuring the blood pressure in your feet. If it's only at night, it's hard to say. I don't know if hopefully your room's cold. And I'll tell you, a natural remedy is to wear socks at night. This is crazy, but
that's interesting.
You will sleep better with socks on. That's an old-fashioned remedy for insomnia. I actually got some marketed for that specific purpose about 2 months ago. I read about it. It actually improves your circulation. They're kind of tight, but they have open toes. Gosh, I wish I remember that. Snoozies or it's some name. Just Google it and say nighttime socks to improve circulation. They'll come right up. They're dirt cheap. And I wear them at night because it keeps my circulation going. Returns, if your feet are getting cold, you worry about your arterial circulation. If your feet swell a lot, you worry about the venous return, but this seems to help both. So look at those kind of socks, take an aspirin every day. Hopefully, usually if you're having claudication or really a lot of problems with arterial circulations, your feet are going to turn blue. And here's another little crazy remedy for you that I know works. I put women on it as well when they have something called Raynaud's phenomena, which is more cold hands, but feet too. Cialis, daily Cialis, improves circulation. That's tadalafil.
Yeah.
Of course, that's a prescription medicine, but some people get on bromelain and some of the stuff like that. But try those things that I just mentioned first, and then maybe get on daily Cialis. It has an amazing. It's not just for erectile dysfunction. It helps your blood pressure. It helps your prostate symptoms. And then now they came out with this huge study that shows Viagra reduces, and Cialis is in the Viagra family, reduces your chance of dementia by like 60%. So it improves your circulation.
I need to hear, there's 45 with us tonight right now. Has anyone tried this? Has anybody tried sleeping with socks on and have slept better, improved circulation? Let me know in the comments. Because I have not heard that before. I would have always thought that sleeping without socks would be, it's cooler, So let me know in the comments, guys. We're going to keep moving. Thank you for that question, Stan. Let's get to Roel real quick, and then we'll keep moving. Have you ever tried hanging on the pull-up bar for 30 seconds to align your back?
I do it every day.
I actually think I called you today. I had a question, and or maybe it was this morning. It was first thing this morning, and I think you were like upside down.
Yeah. I also get on my teeter board and I hang upside down from my feet as well. But I love the dead hang. I do it all the time. As a matter of fact, I saw Ernie and I were walking today. Ernie and I, as our physical therapist, we walk every day at lunch for 30 minutes, and he showed me this picture, this new way to gain strength and align your body. And this was like, it's going to be lower than a pull-up bar, but what you do is you do a one arm hang, and where your feet are kind of like a plank. You're doing a plank, so your body's going like this, and your arms up here hanging onto the the bar. In this case, it was an Olympic barbell on a rack. So you're putting your feet like you're doing a side plank, except half your body's in the air and you're just hanging with one arm. It's supposed to be tremendous for your shoulder strength, your back, scapula, your shoulder girdle, which causes all the problems, really, the weak shoulder girdle scapula complex. So, yeah, I think that's great. I love it. I love it. One of the best measures of longevity is really grip strength. So, what I try to do every once in a while is just see how long I can hang there. And usually I get a minute and a half, with a dead hang. That's hard.
Super.
I had Margot. I hope Margot's. She did 2.5 minutes.
I remember that.
It was incredible. Yeah,
it was incredible. It was literally 2.5. I think I'm like a minute and a half, something like that. I'm gonna put this up from Roel. We love the book recommendations here, Roel. So thank you. Authors Aaron Alexander's book called The Align Method. I really enjoyed that read. We're gonna mark this down.
Can you order that for me, Ben? I need that.
Yeah, we will get that down. Roel, thank you so much. We love book recommendations. Thank you for that. I see Courtney enjoys the Sleeps with Socks with, okay, cool. Thank you, Courtney. Super interesting. All right, we're going to keep going here. I know a few people have been waiting quite a long time, so I'm going to make sure I get to you. Where's Michael? There we go. Shoot, guys. Now I'm lost. Where am I at? All right. Michael's asking, what's the thyroid supplement? I think this was in regards to the Ray's question. My TSH is through the roof. Any thyroid supplements that could help Michael here?
Well, you need to first find out why your TSH is out the roof. Do you have Hashimoto's? What's your other? Are you insulin resistant? What's your cortisol level? What are your antibodies doing? Definitely, if your TSH is through the roof, you need a prescription medicine for it. You can always take the supplements that have selenium and zinc in it, which are great. But I love NP thyroid. I just don't like Synthroid a whole lot. Levothyroxine's generic Synthroid. Sometimes I'll use it, but I just find about 90% of my patients feel better on a desiccated pig thyroid is what it is. And Armour's been around for 100 years. NP, I actually prefer. It's cheaper and it doesn't have as many fillers as Armour does. So yeah, you need treatment. You definitely need to get that TSH to about 1 if you can. And you're not going to get that with natural supplementation, I don't think. But yeah, you need to get some NP thyroid, which is a prescription medicine, but get a workup and try to find out. I don't know if you have a goiter or, if you got an enlarged thyroid, but it needs a workup.
Michael, I hope that helps. Thank you for putting that in there. I love thyroid questions. So thank you. I know that helps more than just you tonight. We're going to keep moving, guys. As a quick reminder, we are giving away a free bottle of 30 Count Digest Shield. There we go. That QR code takes us to performancemedicine.net/shop where you can find Digest Shield, but we are giving one away free tonight. So stay tuned. That'll be happening in just a couple minutes. Let's go to, let's make sure I get Rose. Where was Rose's question? I lost it. Gosh, thank you guys for all these questions and comments. There we go, Rose. My husband's triglycerides are over 1,400. He also has diabetes and AFib. Would berberine be safe for him? And then I'm going to go to another berberine question.
Yeah, it sure would. Again, he has hypertriglyceridemia, and that goes along with diabetes. And the other board question that I always ask all my medical students and residents that rotate through with me, what else are you at risk for with triglycerides that high? Which is always familial. It's not his fault. It's inherited. Pancreatitis. So get those triglycerides down. Again, berberine has a good effect on all your metabolic factors. But he needs some omega-3s too. I mean, again, there's prescription medicines for it, but assuming he's getting omega-3s, fish oil, that'll bring his triglycerides down. along with more of a specific diet. Of course, he's got diabetes, so he's got to be on a diabetic diet. But yeah, so he's got AFib too. We see a lot of AFib now. So yeah, but then there's a question. Well, he has AFib. Will omega-3s make it worse? I would still do it. And hopefully he's getting treated for his AFib, and it's controlled. And he may even have had an ablation, which is what I would do if I had AFib. Go get it fixed. And I would still take the fish oil if my triglycerides were that high. But he may be one that may need a prescription medication for it. That's pretty high.
Rose, thank you for putting that in there. I hope that helps a little bit. I want to put this up just because it's because Foxy's from New York, and I love that. And I want to get this berberine question in. Berberine, what kind? And mg? Okay, so milligram.
Oh yeah, get the dihydroberberine.
Yep.
Again, we have it. I think we have it on our online store.
We do. Stay tuned. We're going to give a 10% discount to anything on our shop tonight. So stay tuned for that discount.
Yeah,
code.
Get some dihydroberberine.
Yeah.
It's 200 milligrams. And again, you can take it once or twice a day. If you're wanting to lose weight with it, I suggest twice a day. But ideally 30 minutes before you eat, but even if you take it with a meal, it's fine. But make sure you get the dihydroberberine, not the berberine HCl.
All right, Foxy Moxie, I hope that helps. Let's get to Cherry. Do you need a prescription for ivermectin? I think this has changed. What's your answer?
Yeah, if you live in Tennessee, you don't. We're the only state in the country that ivermectin can be obtained over the counter. Now, that pharmacy you get it from has to have an okay from a local doctor, like they do here in Kingsport from me. So anybody can go in and get it without a prescription. So in Tennessee. So if you live in Tennessee, and it's usually going to be, you're not going to walk into a CVS or Walgreens and get it. Just go to your local pharmacist. So in Tennessee, no. Everywhere else, yes.
Cherry, I hope that helps. I love this question from Edna. When is your? It's so funny. If Katie's still on, we were talking about the branding for this today. When is your pain formula coming out? We have any idea?
Not soon enough. I can't wait for it to come out. I was talking to Katie today about it. They're making it. Again, it's a very unique formula, and I'm hoping 6 weeks. That's what I'm hoping. Stay tuned. Believe me, I'll put it out there when I get it.
Did you say 6 weeks?
That's what I'm hoping for. Yeah. Okay. Katie may say something different, but
let's get this from D-Land because this is going to be a very common question we get in Upper East Tennessee. Can I get ivermectin in Tennessee if I live in Virginia?
Yes. All you have to do is come down to Tennessee, put your hillbilly accent on, and go into Max Medicine Mart.
D-Land, you got to act like a Tennessean, and
you have to act like a hillbilly to get it. No, yeah, just go in there. Sure, you can. Cool. If you want, I'll write you a prescription for it. Free of charge.
Okay.
I have a Virginia license too, but in Virginia they make you have a.
Tom, I hope you're still here, man. Tom's a first timer from Bluefield. Just curious, who might be the best provider in your practice in the Tri-Cities area for me to see diagnosed with MTHFR anomaly and have history of pulmonary embolism? Wonderful question. This is something that all of our providers treat.
Gosh, I mean, we all treat the MTHFR and check it routinely.
Thank you, team.
Go look at that one Robin did. And she's in Knoxville, and
she's in our Knoxville practice.
Yeah, and Margot's great, but man, I don't think I would. Every one of us knows all about MTHFR and certainly history of pulmonary embolism. That's something that can be caused by the MTHFR anomaly. So you're probably already on blood thinners, but I just don't have a favorite here.
They're amazing.
We all really dig that gene and get into it because it's very important.
But I will say, Tom, watch that video. If you search for MTHFR performance medicine, that video with Robin will come up. And that'll give you an idea on how all of our providers look at it and why we're looking at it and what the test means and all that. So watch that. And any of the providers, in any of our offices do such a great job with this. And if you're in the Tri-Cities, what I would do is go to where you can get in first, and go with that. If you want, you can shoot me or shoot Carter an email, and she'll set you up with someone to.
If you've had any other genetic mutations that you know about, for example, if you've had the 23andMe, bring that in too, because sometimes it's interesting to look at some of the other genes that may interplay with the MTHFR, like the COMT gene, the Valspar mutation.
I love that.
But
Tom's already seen. Tom's ahead of the game. I love this.
He's got a great name. I mean, he's got a great name. So
I love it. Thank you, Tom. Thank you for
what's going on.
Thank you for watching our content. I hope we can help you. And shoot Carter at performancemedicine.net and email, and we'll get you set up. Okay, let's get to Barbara, and then we're gonna give away a 30-count bottle of Digest Shield. Barbara asked, "How to rid our bodies of spike proteins after?" Okay. This is dicey, Barbara. So what we'll do, just be gentle with your answer.
Kind of be honest. Sure, there's a spike protein protocol that Dr. McCullough, the cardiologist, who knows probably more about COVID than anybody on the planet. And gosh, I wish I had it sitting right here. I don't know if Katie and them have the protocol, but we'll send it to you. How to get rid of the spike protein. Just Ben, get her, and we'll send it to you tomorrow.
Barbara, email me, Ben at performancemedicine.net, and I'll make sure that we'll send you the protocol. Ben at performancemedicine.net. All right, guys, we're gonna move to the fun part. As you can see here, we are. Got a free bottle of Digest Shield coming up. Thank you guys for hanging out this entire hour. We love you. If you don't win the Digest Shield tonight, you can go to that QR code. I'm going to give you guys a 10% discount tonight on all the vitamins on performancemedicine.net/shop. The winner tonight is, and it's caught my eye the entire night, and I saw this name come up last week, and now I'm going to put it up. Karen, you have won tonight's 30-count bottle of Digest Shield, and I'll tell you why. One, I saw you last week, and you're here every week, and the 2-try list I think is incredible. I loved the 2-try list, and I might steal that from you, Karen.
I like it.
I want to know what's on everybody's 2-try list. What we'll do is we'll make that part of our one segment next week.
Hey Ben, let me tell you that I love the 2-try list. There was something one of my patients told me today that stuck in my mind that I loved, and this was an interesting case because he was down in Florida. And this guy's 80 years old, and he told me a story where he's in great shape and all, but he did say that he had to see a psychiatrist this past winter when he was in Florida. That just shocked me because I said, "What? Why did you have to see a psychiatrist?" And he said he all of a sudden developed an intense fear of reptiles, like snakes and alligators and even iguanas, lizards, and that thing. So he went to a psychiatrist for this. And I go, "Well, what did the psychiatrist tell you to do?" He said, "You don't need to do anything. It's called reptile dysfunction." I just love that. See, even Ben's laughing at that. Ben doesn't think any joke I tell is funny, but I thought it was hilarious.
I thought that was hysterical.
Reptile dysfunction.
I love it. All right, guys. Karen, you have won the free bottle of Digest Shield 30-count. Email Katie at performancemedicine.net, Katie at performancemedicine.net, KATIE. And in the subject line, put "I won the free bottle of Digest Shield" and put your address, and we'll get that out to you tomorrow. Congrats to Karen. Thank you so much for being here each week. I love you so much. And for those who want to take advantage of the discount tonight on performancemedicine.net is LiveQ10. If you just put LiveQ10 in the coupon part, it'll give you a 10% discount on all the vitamins you order. It'll be live starting in about 5 minutes. So don't order right now. Give me 5 minutes to make that discount code live, and that'll be available for the next 48 hours. That's awesome. And thank you, team, for putting that QR code up. Let's see here. I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. There we go. Pop, I love you, man. Happy early Father's Day.
Thank you, Ben. Love you too. Have a good night. I'm gonna go play some pickleball.
Get outside, go for a walk.
I'm gonna play pickleball. I'm gonna play pickleball tonight.
Are you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What I do on Tuesdays is typically pick up Chipotle on my way home, and I'm taking 2 digest shields right now because I take it 30 minutes prior.
That's
So
a good move.
Karen, there's the trick there. 30 minutes prior, take 2. I'm gonna eat a big meal tonight. I already know it. Thank you, team, for that. All right, guys, we're out of here. I love you. Thank y'all so much. I see Lisa shared the broadcast. Thank you so much, Lisa. Thank you. Okay, cool. We're all set up, I think. Cherry's asking for the Father's Day specials. Shoot, I don't have those in front of me.
Katie or Carter will probably pop them.
I know it's shoot.
It's Vitamin shots, testosterone. Here the dogs are. Come here.
Cherry, if you can email me, ben@performancemedicine.net, and I'll send you the discount list. There they are. Look at that. Izzy and Ike, what's going on? They're shy.
All right, Ben.
She's too fat. Tom, I can't get her up. She's too fat.
Izzy's gained some weight.
Guys, we are out of here. I love you guys. Thank y'all so much. Live Q10, performancemedicine.net/shop. It'll be live in 5 minutes. Where's my outro, Brad? Come on, Brad. There we go.
Don't go away.